Welcome to Dan Really Likes Wine, and a rather exciting week. If I'm looking slightly nervous, it's because I'll be on stage on Friday and Saturday, and particularly Saturday, hosting the auction at the Cape Wine Auction. Last year, I reached 15 million rand, although that was more the generosity of the guests and the quality of the lots rather than the power of the auctioneer. We'll be hoping for something similar, if not more, this weekend at Rupert and Rothschild, which hosts the auction for the very first time. And we have some Rupert and Rothschild to have a look at this week, but we start with some wine from Rickety Bridge, the Paulina's Reserve. And the lot that includes Paulina's Reserve also includes some accommodation for 7 nights for 2 couples in an apartment in Paris, and 7 nights accommodation for 7 couples in a villa near Saint-Tropez. So a great lot, but as alluring as that trip to France sounds, I think this wine will give it a pretty good run for its money. You'll find Rickety Bridge in Franschhoek, and if the name suggests a slightly unsteady structure, then the structure to this wine is anything but. Rickety Bridge have done some fun stuff of late. They've helped out AB de Villiers and Faf du Plessis with their first 11 wines, and they've also for some time now been making some lovely fare in Franschhoek. Now, I'm not sure who Paulina is or was, but whoever you are or were, this is a fine tribute to you. This wine is available as part of the lot, along with those double stays in France. This is lovely though. 2013, it's got a long time yet to go should you wish to keep it. It's got that smooth tannin feel. It's delightful. It's been done in French barrel appropriately, given that you're off to France if you win this lot. It's a great way to start this week's selection. From Rickety Bridge to Idiom, and bottles that are immediately identifiable. The iconic tall and slender bottle. It's basically Liesel van der Westhuizen reborn as a bottle of wine, and it is just as appealing. The Idiom lot is pretty awesome as well. They'll take you by helicopter out to Idiom, give you a fantastic meal, and there's a piece of art by Lionel Smith. I've auctioned some of Lionel's work over the last few years, and it always fetches a very healthy price indeed. I'm expecting the same to happen for the Idiom lot at the auction this weekend. The wine though, just as appealing as anything. The bottle is hard to miss, but the wine is just as standout as well. This is the Cab Sauv blend, the Bordeaux blend, some Merlot, some Petit Verdot, and a dose of Cab Franc 2009. Should be drinking beautifully. Now, for me, the Idiom is always a good example of somebody being particularly clever when it comes to the branding and the labeling. It's a very different label. It's as long and slender as the bottle. It makes it very striking indeed. It's not the easiest to carry around unless you have an Idiom-shaped box, but the wine is lovely across the board. They've got a really nice Cape blend with a touch of Pinotage. This, the Bordeaux style blend, part of their flagship, and it always has been a delight to drink. Forget delight to drink, it is effortless to drink. That is so smooth. That slides down and is gone before you know it. It's aged perfectly. 8 years is such a good space for a South African blend, and this illustrates just why. That's very, very pleasant indeed. You can feel that Cab Sauv blend, but you know it's not just the Cab Sauv, it's offset by a couple of perfect varietals, and the combination is really, really nice. That puzzle has come together beautifully, and this is a great wine. Part of a great lot that Idiom have put together for the Cape Wine Auction. And one of the highlights on the weekend of the auction, because it is a weekend, it's not just a single event, the Friday night American Express barrel tasting. You've got a whole pile of barrels specifically made for the evening that people bid on and buy, and it's a great chance to get some unique wine. And this year that's happening at La Motte. I've been to La Motte many, many times. It's one of the first estates I visited. One of my first wine purchases was a 1995 bottle of Millennium that I dearly wish I'd hung on to a little longer than I did. There's a terrific restaurant, and it's a superb venue for the Friday night, and some of the wine that will be included in the prize should you win it at the auction is some of this, the Pyrénées collection from La Motte. This, their Syrah Viognier blend, it's 90% Syrah with just that 10% splash of Viognier. Now, if you win this, it's a great trip out. 20 people, go to La Motte, visit, get wine from the Vinothèque, get Edmond to Blanche, who'll look after you superbly. He's the cellar master out at La Motte. Some gifts when you leave, live music over a 5-course dinner. The wine, though, again, the standout, and this pays tribute to Pyrénées, one of our finest artists, and I think he'd approve of the wine La Motte have made in his honour. Now, the bottle might look as though my 2.5-year-old daughter Erin has got hold of it with her sticker collection, but on closer inspection, those are accolades from some fairly heavy-hitting wine competitions and wine judges. They reckon it's exceptional. I suspect I'm inclined to agree. Is Syrah really lighter than Shiraz? We've had this argument on the show before. Often it does feel that way. When you've added a touch of Viognier, then certainly so. It just smooths out, takes some of the edge off and makes it ever so slightly lighter. And this combines to being a really nice example of a Syrah that's had a little bit of work done, and it works out being absolutely perfect. 2013, I think it's got some time to go, but it's drinking very nicely at the moment, and hopefully there'll be some available on Friday night when I'm out at La Motte for that barrel tasting. Lots of great wine to try. This will be leading the charge. And then to our last wine ahead of this weekend, and appropriately it's wine from our host venue, Rupert and Rothschild, bringing together the Rothschild family of France, who need no introduction, and the Rupert family of South Africa, who need no introduction either. It's a collaboration that's been extremely successful. The Rupert and Rothschild Classique sells an extraordinary number of bottles around the world every year, and then when you head up the range, you get wine like this, the Baron Edmund. So not only will Rupert and Rothschild be hosting proceedings on Saturday, and elegant proceedings they promise to be, with the exception of your auctioneer, and my apologies in advance, but also providing a great auction item, some very rare wine from Baron de Rothschild in France, as well as some terrific wine from here in South Africa, and the chance to go and stay at the Manor House and enjoy a rather special meal thanks to Rupert and Rothschild. Now, this Baron Edmund is the Bordeaux blend, the Cab Sauv, the Merlot, the Cab Franc, and it is an acclaimed wine. It's not an inexpensive wine until you drink it, and when you look at the price and what you get, suddenly it doesn't seem nearly so expensive. And that is a serene way in which to wrap up this week's show and look ahead to the auction this weekend. It's a delightful blend, that Cabernet Franc showing through, the Merlot softening off any rough edges, although to be honest, I'm not sure there were any there to begin with, and all on that lovely Cabernet Sauvignon base. It's a classic Bordeaux blend, at home in France as it would be in South Africa, and that's just as it should be for a terrific South African-French partnership. Rupert and Rothschild not just making lovely wine, also hosting us on Saturday for the Cape Wine Auction. Every cent raised for charity. It's a terrific initiative. It's one I'm very proud to be involved with, and one I can't wait to get stuck into this weekend. 4 terrific wines from Rickety Bridge, from Idiom, from the guys at La Motte, and from Rupert and Rothschild. Hopefully by the end of Saturday, there's another 15 million rand or thereabouts to send the way of some extremely good causes. Cheers.